Welcome everybody to ZSR2, Zelda Speedruns 2. We are doing the NMG League today. We've got a race between Caznode and Shkoople. I'm Dow, and I'm joined by Chex Human.
Hello, Dow.
Hello, Chex. Looks like we're just getting file names set up, so we've got a little bit to go, but should be a good one.
And it's the first week of NMG League, and we've had some exciting races already. We have Caznode and Shkoople today, and they are both very good runners. Caznode with a bit more experience. Shkoople, a newer runner, but a very studious runner, too.
I mean, is Shkoople new?
I wouldn't, I couldn't say objectively, but I would say Caznode has a little bit more experience.
Well, that's probably true. I think Caznode has been around the longest of anybody that's in this league.
Wow. I can see that.
I'm not sure who else I would have to double check, but Caznode, if he's not the longest tenured, he's close.
Uh-huh.
Let's see, according to Speedrun.com...
Someday I'll have tenure.
Oh, I guess Shkoople's only had submitted runs to Speedrun.coms for 18 months, so that's not, that's pretty recent.
Mm-hmm.
Caznode's oldest PB on Speedrun.com dates back 6 years. Oh, 6 years to the day.
Oh, actually. Wow. Happy SRC anniversaries to Shkoople.
But that's a 129. I have a feeling that Kaz's first run was not a 129, so he's been around a while. And it's so much of this game comes down to having seen something before, right? How many times are you doing a run and something happens and you just lose 10 seconds because you're like, I don't know what's going on.
Give me an example.
Oh,
it does happen quite often.
You get hit by an RNG you haven't seen before, right? You just kind of shut down.
Yeah.
And then you ask somebody no, yeah, that happens.
Yeah. Sometimes there's a process of disbelief, shock, disbelief, anger. And then there are some steps in which you flail.
Hopefully not too much of that. But we are they're going now, and there is a lot of tech smashing in this game, actually.
A little bit.
Luckily,
it's kind of nice.
I don't mind it. It sucks that you start with 30 seconds of it, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah. It might be a little bit inhibiting for new runners who might be, randomizer players where text is removed, but I think runners really get used to it, depending. But resets are not a problem after a while.
No.
It's just
Yeah. The worst part of resetting is knowing you're going to have to pump for the next 10 to 11 minutes of the video game.
Yes. Right. So our runners are going through Escape, the first segment of the run, and are going to rescue Zelda from her cell and take her to Sanctuary. Like you said, there's a lot of pumping that can be done on each screen, on most screens. And that is used to have a chance of a pixel boost.
Right. The thing about pumping that really sucks too is that sometimes you get the pixel boost, but it doesn't actually save any time. So not even every pump is worth a frame. So
Right.
It's not a fun time.
Yeah. We are seeing similar strats. Nice upward slash and spin for the key guard.
Yeah, and a fair bit of this run, there's just RNG everywhere. Like that guard walking up for Kaz versus left for Shkoople. Most of the RNGs are not really going to gain or lose you much time, but sometimes you get, at least I get a little tilted sometimes when every RNG is the bad RNG.
Oh, yeah.
And
All right. Approaching ball and chains guard. Oh, a nice boomerang from Shkoople to stun the green guard.
Yeah,
They're going for different strats. One pot for Shkoople.
I think with one pot you have to boom the guard a lot more, but one pot is a little bit easier to execute for sure, and it doesn't even lose much time. Honestly, for most people on average, they probably would save time with one pot. Just because it's so easy to clink ball and chain even once, and then you're losing time.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting through ball and chain, full health, pretty happy with that. Didn't clink like 14 times. And so the rest of Escape is actually pretty easy. There's like one snake room where you have to worry about a little bit, and then of course the rats in the last couple screens, but they're not hard, just annoying.
They're annoying, and especially annoying when you are learning and you don't know the RNGs, but it gets pretty consistent after a while and greater understanding.
Yeah. The thing a lot of times
I'm still in the learning phase.
I feel like a lot of times too, it's just like there's so much happening on the screen, and it takes so long to process. Like, oh, I don't need to look at everything. I just need to look at this one particular rat or whatever else. Meanwhile, Shkoople just gets hit by every rat at the same time. All right.
The first bop was a deboost, and it looked like it didn't lose time.
Kaz actually almost walked a little too high, almost walked in the water too soon. Walking in the water is very slow, so you don't want to be in there very long. And that's just something that Kaz did a little bit better than Shkoople, actually. Kaz managed to walk in the water a little bit less, which probably saved 5 to 10 frames, I would imagine.
And it seems, would you say that air pumping in the water is a good strat?
Oh, air pumping in water is incredible.
Essential.
Like,
okay.
You don't move quite twice as fast, but it's like 1.5 times as fast. Whereas like normal pumping, you're gonna move like 1.1 to 1. 2 times as fast, probably. Like, water pumping is just... You just move so slow in water that the pumping is worth it, no matter what.
Very good escapes for both runners, both finishing within a second or two of each other, and both within 5 minutes and 55 seconds, basically.
Yeah, that's a pretty good escape time. You can do, there's a lot of... You can always do 10 seconds better in this game, but it's not happening, right? You just need everything to go right, and it just never does. And by everything, I mean every pump you do saves a frame.
Right.
It's just like... this particular screen is... Ooh, that was a good dodge by Kaz. Shkoople opted to slash there, which is completely reasonable. I think slashing versus moving around an enemy is essentially the same. Slashing is just a little bit safer, so... Oh, I think Kaz actually could have avoided that Octo if he just continued to hold down right, but... You get nervous sometimes. The Octo does do a full heart of damage. We only have 4, so...
Yeah, surprising to see it there.
And there's Shkoople boomed the Popo, which is in fact faster than slashing. It's 4 frames faster.
All right, and we've got a nice little skip here of the Stolfos trap room. And there were no problems on both runner sides.
Yeah, that's another room there where Kaz probably saved, I don't know, 10 frames on Shkoople, just because his movement was a little bit tighter. So, honestly, that's really the difference between like a 124 runner and a 125 runner, right? It's just like a few frames here, a few frames there, right? It's not... We're not going to see different strats for the most part. We're not going to see any, like... Hopefully, we're not going to see any huge 20-second time losses anywhere, because they're certainly both good enough to not have that happen, but... Although I say that, sometimes this damage boost in this room, you kind of just get a little messed up and you lose time. It's usually not your fault, but sometimes it is. Like there, Shkoople got boosted down. I think that was just a bad boost. I'm not sure there was much he could have done there. And then these, once you kind of get through that door right there, and we get to the back of Eastern, these rooms are a little bit challenging. Oh, okay, Kaz was paying more attention to his rupees than I was. So, definitely didn't need to slash that enemy, but since he was on the red, he took a chance at it. This has the potential to save time, so it worked out. Got a convenient damage boost as well. He's on a heart and a half here. He's fine. That is... Okay, good recognition. Shkoople got both arrow drops there, so he has infinite arrows. Kaz opting for the pinkish strat, which is not technically any faster than the top right strat that Shkoople chose to do, but it is easier to do faster. I find it saves me about 20 frames, so... And yeah, so it looks like Kaz only gained about a second and a half on shkoople in that split, which is like not very much. But it does kind of extend the lead, and that's kind of the small things that we're gonna. It's just like small differences, I think, for most of the run here.
Right. And thankfully, you're catching a lot of the small things that I keep missing. Great. We do have the boots now, famous for allowing Link to go fast. And in this version of the game, our runners can pull off a minor glitch right away, which is spin speed. And it's one of the hardest minor glitches, and it's hard to do consistently. So.
Yeah, it's not that it's
here we go.
hard. It's the consistently part, right?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody does anything in this game even close to 100% consistency. Like,
there's an infamous spin speed we can do on the library screen going into it, and neither runner used it in the race, which was interesting.
That one doesn't save that much time, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Oh, missed the first spin speed there, so... And missing the spin speed costs you anywhere between 1 to 2 seconds, kind of just depending on how quickly you recognize that you messed it up and how quickly you get it set back up. Like a second doesn't sound like much, but it's a pretty easy trick to fail 6 times in a row.
Yeah, and it's hard to know when to let it go. And just use the developer intended dashing.
That sounds awful.
No.
And so a lot of the small differences will be like things like how tightly they stop their dashes or whatever else. We are synced up.
The map check by an accidental mash by caznode brought our runners in sync within a second now.
I know some people have removed the X button from their controllers so they don't accidentally map.
I heard about someone doing it just this week, I believe, or last weekend.
And we could see there just the strat they chose to use to get past that antlion. shkoople chose to spin it as opposed to doing the poke dash strat, and it costs you about 10-15 frames. So that's the difference now.
Yeah, wow.
Oh no. Okay. I missed the popo.
So it got a little out of hand for shkoople, missing a popo, having to go back for it, and he's punished by a laser beam from the BMOs.
Now, I think most people have died in desert at some point in their life, but things have to go really wrong. They have to go, like, really wrong. So, missing just the one heart, you're not so concerned about. If we were to be missing 3, then we're gonna maybe start panicking a little bit, but...
Yeah, Desert Palace is not known for being dangerous, but BMOS still has a special place in my heart for being one of the scariest enemies. It's a pretty, it's an upgrade from all the sort of the more placid enemies of Eastern and Escape. It's loud. It has huge knockback when it makes contact with Link. It's crazy. And both runners are dashing below the torch in the key pot room. It's sort of a newer strat popularized by Yuzuhara, I believe.
Yeah, in the last
Saves
year.
RNG.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a little bit slower, I think, by 5 to 10 frames, but it's consistent, and that's all we want. And we come up on the least consistent boss, Lambo.
Oh boy. Here it goes.
Kaz had an okay first cycle, but he got kind of and shkoople's was a little bit better. This is where it gets bad. It's once they start to get...
Wow. Is that a 3 cycle for shkoople? Looks like Kaznode's going into phase 5.
Oh my goodness. Opting to save some arrows, probably just because, for a couple reasons. One, you've done a bunch of damage already, so you're like, oh, it's just one sword slash away. It's hard to count the Landmo's health a lot of times. And then maybe just miscounting a little bit, so I had to slash a few extra times, but we do want a healthy amount of arrows leaving desert as well. So both runners are looking really good on their arrow count. But like, once you start missing a couple arrows, you do kind of get it in your head a little bit, like, oh, I can't shoot too many more because I need these later. It's still usually correct to shoot the arrows, just because it'll save more time. But it's, I don't know, just something that gets in your head a little bit.
And shkoople had a bit of a miss swim at fake flippers, which is always a little scary, but shkoople made it through okay. Kaznode's overworld has been a bit smoother. Had I believe the Geldman dash strat in desert escape, so looks like Kaznode is catching up very, very slightly.
Yeah, and I said we probably won't see many big, 20, 30-second errors or whatever. Sometimes you just get a 6-cycle Lambo.
Yeah.
Of course you can always play the fight better unless you, have a 1 cycle, which, as far as I know, has only been done in practice and with 1 RNG. But when you start getting to 5 or 6 cycles, you definitely start thinking to yourself, I can't believe I missed all those other shots too. So, but we're through Death Mountain with me just talking about not Death Mountain, which is good because I don't want to talk about this screen.
I don't want to think about it, yeah. I'm just gonna close my... I'm just gonna block the screen and just look at the health meters of each runner. And shkoople's looking great. Full health. Interesting menu for shkoople. I like this menu to lamp at the gatekeeper, the moldworm that blocks the tile room.
Well, we are attempting a pot spin speed, and it looks like Kaz is going to go... Oh, we did not get the pot spin speed. Looks like Kaz is going to go for the boom dash.
Yes.
Which is the fastest strat. It will require pressing 3 buttons at the same time. We have succeeded.
Very good.
And it saves, what? I don't know. Not much.
I don't know.
I'm being told it's not the fastest strat. Aside from going from stupid frame rules.
The ACM. I'm not sure. All right. Shkoople's got the big key. Up the tower we go.
Well, this is a tricky room for sure. You're trying to go fast and like grab the pots right away, throw the pots right away, and it's easy to just things get a little silly.
Nice arrow grab for caznode before exiting the room.
And Shkoople has already seen the bombs, so Shkoople might wrap back around to the arrows way sooner than you'd expect. This is an early bomb jump, and
very good.
You did it. Huge. Also went for a chest turn and failed, but nobody saw him. And I didn't say anything.
I didn't see it. Oh. Casno is taking a little extra damage. So, going into Moldorm with 2 hearts. Okay.
Kaz clearly did not trust that dash. That's...
Yeah.
Alright, well, we didn't fall, so that's good. Oh no.
Wow. And Moldorm's already down for Shkoople. Unfortunately, Casno takes a fall. And we are now at 1 heart, so it is as scary as ever. Casno seems a little shaken throughout this this upper tower here. So
yeah, the fast strat here is going to be to dash through Moldorm, but at only 1 heart, you definitely run the risk of that happening. Oh no.
Yeah, we dashed, right to left through Moldorm, but it just bopped Link in the head for whatever reason. So that hurts. That'll be tough to catch up. But anything could still happen.
Yeah, Moldorm deaths, I might need to be reminded, but I think they're 90-ish seconds. That might be a bit much. But they're fairly punishing.
Yeah. Plus we had the fall. Okay, we've got a guard fight for Shkoople. Wow.
Shkoople did take a hit there, which will
he missed
slow
the hit.
down his rupee collection.
Yeah. So, a backup rupee route will cost Shkoople a little bit, not too much. But we'll
Depending on how
goes.
comfortable he is with the strats, no more than 10 seconds, but definitely, a few seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, this Moldorm fight, not the fastest from Kaz's side, but easy, right? Of course, the second time, it's easy. Or I guess the third time, actually, but...
Of course. Okay. Shkoople escaping the Lost Woods. The dashes are so difficult around some of these corners, especially near the mushroom.
Yeah, there's just so many narrow gaps trying to get through. But yeah, Shkoople needs to kill 4 enemies. That's the second one he's killed, right? Did you kill the bird? Oh, does not know the tech on this screen to guarantee killing the guard. You want to nudge the tree as you walk into that screen to make it happen.
Right. And thanks to your commentary yesterday, I was able to, that reminded me. I happened to do that by accident. So it's good knowledge to have. So
that's also relatively recent knowledge, I think, in the last 2 years or so. So
Shkoople pulled the second tree that's available, the third tree, and got just enough red rupees to have enough for Palace of Darkness. All right, and now has full health. I missed the heart pickup, so nice that Shkoople has beams here. Maybe it's from outside the castle?
Yeah, it was from outside the castle. Relying on beams in Aga Tower is... Because of this room, is why you're always like, I love beams, but Dark Maze hates me. So you don't get to use them. But yeah, no problem with True Rubies on Kaz's side here. I'm glad shkoople was able to dash through there. That was the guard sword out like that. I was concerned. Room gets a bit tricky with just the bow. Whew. Also got aggroed in a bad way. Uh-oh. This is what happens in Aga Tower once you lose beams. Things just go a little bit weird, and...
Seemed like shkoople kind of missed a setup there.
Yeah. Aga Tower, not a split that's going to kill you, is a split that you're going to lose 20 seconds in. So Kaz definitely has an opportunity to make up a lot here. And while nobody pays attention to shkoople for the next 2 minutes because nothing is happening on his screen, or at least nothing that anybody can do anything about. Oh, that bonk is really bad. It alerts every guard in the country to Kaz's presence.
Uh-huh. Yeah. The nothing happening is the Aghanim cutscene mashing, followed by the Aghanim cutscene fight.
The Aghanim cutscene of varying lengths fight.
Yeah.
Kaz got spotted right away, which is pretty rare, so...
Yeah, I heard a slash, but the guard bopped him.
Kaz also traded an arrow for a spear, which luckily both of them have infinite arrows, so it's not a big deal. Okay, shkoople certainly had less than 3, and I saw at least 1, but like I said, I wasn't paying attention, so...
That's exactly what I observed as well.
Alright, so we are definitely hoping for very few on Kaz's side then.
Yeah, to keep it close, it's gonna be, it's the chances are that the gap here will widen slightly, but we don't know.
Right.
The most common number is 3, which loses many seconds.
It looks like shkoople did in fact have 1, so 3 would cost Kaz an additional 18 seconds.
Yeah. But
shkoople is now into the hard part of the game. I said we don't expect, 20, 30 second time losses anywhere, but every Dark World split has the chance for it to happen, right? Just like...
Oh, yeah. Okay, we've got a spear-throwing moblin. shkoople knows how to deal with that. Throws a boomerang. Makes his way through the spears.
Yeah, pod is... this is a lot. fireballs. You really hate to see it. You really do. Pod sucks because we're gonna see every room about 19 times.
Yes.
And you do something different every time.
And you do something different if you play different categories too.
That too.
Shkoople does do that. But from what I've watched from Shkoople, his prime, I haven't seen any mistakes in NMG routing, basically. It seems like Shkoople's primary category is NMG. Any percent. Whereas someone like me who plays more glitch categories gets a little more confused about what to do upon room visits and revisits. Anyway, Shkoople's on to hammer jump.
This is a trick where no matter how much you practice it, that happens. You're one frame away, no matter what you do, from being on the right spot.
Yeah, Shkoople went up and down, back and forth. Did not quite land, but maybe missed each frame by one.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
Which, that happens when you try to single frame move. You get 2 frames quite often, sometimes in an unlucky series.
Kaz just had the best Kiki skip I've ever seen. We're going to need about 100 more of those. Oh, no. Oh. You can go too fast and not pick up the bomb.
Yeah.
Usually it's both a combination of going too fast and picking it up from too high. Okay, well, Shkoople might have had infinite arrows before, but not getting a drop there, and he's getting a little bit low. It's okay. You can leave this dungeon with 0, and nothing will be able to affect you. So 2 is plenty. This turtle
hammering
room
early.
is okay. The turtles behaved. Sometimes they don't, and you just lose 5 seconds.
Yeah, from what I understand, the turtles were programmed a little bit incorrectly, where they always move toward Link, but sometimes they move down, and it doesn't totally make sense.
We want Helma to move down, which he is doing. We also want Helma to not shoot fireballs, which he is doing. Shkoople, move down again, please. Oh, no. Okay, and then the fireballs, but we've done enough damage here. Yeah, there we go. Easy boss fight. Kaz opting for a sword buffer there to avoid menuing. Gets 2 different sword buffers, which is huge. Like, legitimately, he might have saved close to 10 seconds on Shkoople on that screen because of all the different buffers Shkoople had to do.
Yeah, I missed it because in the time it took me to look at Yoho's animated emote, it was already completed.
That statue, okay. Ooh. I thought it might have been just 1 or 2 pixels too far left. Kaz recognizes that too. Fixes it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it looked okay to me, but I think I was wrong.
If it wasn't good, it would have not been good by like nothing. And you just don't want to push the statue all the way up and then have to pull it back out to fix it, right? So
No. You gotta know the gap limit.
yeah, so just taking it safe there, it doesn't, I mean, it loses you a tiny bit of time, but like a second maybe. But it's better than losing the 10 you'll get from pushing it all the way, so.
Yep. All right, so shkoople returned, shkoople just had the pod return screen, which was a bit of a scary screen as I learned it. There's just so much damage that can occur both through randomness and through bad movement.
We have 8 hearts right now, and if you mess up a little bit and get hit by all the enemies that can accidentally hit you, you could literally be dead.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Kaz's Helma is not nearly as friendly. We really do not want to see fireballs on this one right here. Okay, good. The big reason for that is mostly just because Helma stays in place for a little bit longer, which like Kaz handled the fight pretty easily there, so.
So when you say Helma stays in place, what do you mean exactly?
Well, the fight's over now, but Helma will move 3 times and then do an attack. So when Helma is in the middle of one of those 3 movements, it's hard to hit Helma. So especially in the second phase, it's only reasonable to hit Helma when Helma is stopped doing an attack. And the tail swipe attack, Helma will stay in place longer than the fireball attack. So it's just easier to get hits in.
Right. I had no problems on the overworld for shkoople so far. Nailing the important spin speed on Usain Bolt screen. And yeah, good movement here avoids lots of time losses that can come up with getting hit by enemies. So, looking smooth so far.
Oh, Kaz tried to go for the faster hammer dash there, but missed the 2 buttons on the same frame input. But quickly recognized that he missed it, and so didn't take any damage, which is good. Deepstown is... I think I turned my brain off for this split. It's kind of the last split you have where you're not likely to die, and also not likely to lose 20 seconds from not paying attention. Obviously, there's a few screens.
Yeah.
Shkoople's about to come up on the Hellway, which can either go very right or very wrong. But for the most part, this is a relatively straightforward dungeon.
Yeah, so nice dodging enemies. We couldn't go for the center pixel anyway. And shkoople's out as quickly as possible.
Shkoople took that room a little bit slower than you normally would, but it is very important that that bomb actually explodes. That's a pretty easy room to be leaving, just a frame or 2 before the bomb explodes, and then you lose a bomb and you lose like 10 seconds. So, taking a little bit safe, that's fine.
Shkoople surprised me by going for the so-called toilet bomb, taking us from 6 to 7 bombs.
7 is a lot right now. Even with 6, you'll have an extra for Ice Palace Bomb Jump. And I would only expect to have 7 here if you do Ice Rod in Swamp, which it does not look like Shkoople does. So, that's in a bad spot.
Yeah, I was surprised that Node jumped over the Zazak and then didn't take damage. But then he pressed up just as he dashed, so walked into it, unfortunately.
That Zazak is a problem. I don't know, it just gets in the way.
Yeah, it's kind of a funny enemy to me because it's a lot like just you look at it and you have some time to look at it too, to see what lane it wants to go in, and then you can kind of pick where you want to hop to.
And we still always managed to pick the same lane it did.
Yeah.
Well, that spin
we get a
is
spin.
not good. Okay.
Wow. And a God Pixel for caznode, so saving time in Hellway. The blind fight, I don't know why. Well, anyway, Shkoople got a spin in the last phase, but knew that he just needed one more hit and was able to catch up to blind with a dash. And
I
somehow
like that
had
dash.
a clear line to get through.
Oh
no.
Oh.
The downward bomb for Shkoople is costly with a menu involved as well.
Yeah, and that's basically what happens if you leave the screen a little bit early. So, one of the hardest things about this game is continuing to play when something like that
oh yeah,
Moldworm death happens. Like you're just normally you're doing runs, whatever, and you just hit the reset button, or you're doing the weekly and you're like, I'll go do something else for an hour. You just worked it, right? But like to keep going is really hard, and it kind of like, at least for me, it kind of eats at me the whole time. Like, what if I just didn't do that, right? So.
Yeah, it kind of depends on your mood and your mindset. If it were me, it might be, a 2-minute time loss in Hera might be something that I feel, okay, well, that happens to everybody. Mm-hmm. But if I lose 5 seconds in the attic because I threw a bomb downwards, I'll feel like so embarrassed. Like, who's ever thrown the bomb that direction before? That makes no sense.
Everybody has, right? Whenever you try to do something fast in this game, you just like Link's facing the totally wrong direction. Link's going, he's swinging his sword and he should be firing arrows. Like, what's happening, right? It happens. You just kind of have to get through it. That was excellent blind fight.
Solid, with blind defeated left of the window. Oh, Shkoople.
I didn't see if that was going to be good or not, but Shkoople, unfortunately, a coward for bailing out in the fence dash. You go down with the ship. It's just the rules.
Well, we'll have to go to the judges. I'm just kidding. Dow's the judge of this. All right, mummy room for Shkoople, entering Skullwoods, and we get cooperative mummies.
And a cooperative mummy in the back room here, which is a rarity. I find that mummy is worse than the two up front.
Still an annoying one to dodge. All right,
Another
early
bomb jump.
Yeah,
Gets it again. Huge game.
that's great.
This is how you can tell Kaz has been playing this game literally forever.
Yeah, we have the classic routing for turning in the Smith.
I think optimally they're not even any different. It's just that the way shkoople chose to do it is a little bit easier for most people, because it avoids picking up the big rock twice, which is a surprisingly easy place to lose a bunch of time. You wouldn't think it would be, but you lose 10 or 20 frames both ways throwing the rock. That's close to a second, right? Half a second or so. Pretty big.
Yeah. And we have to do... Yeah, we have to...
Kaz is the winner of this race.
Screen.
He gets the defense dash.
Ooh, wow. Okay. Yeah, some funky things happening on shkoople's side, but does not cost him too much time here.
Oh, okay. Oh, the menu boss! No!
No! Wow, a zero spike Mothula fight with most of the fight happening in the menu. That was incredible. Yeah, that was a interesting back half of Skullwoods for shkoople, where it didn't seem like there were problems, but we walked into Europa. Somehow, maybe we missed the dash button or something like that, and everything's going well. Mothula can have a lot of randomness to it, but it cooperated. We got the double poke. Everything went well there. It was just some sort of menu mishap.
Yeah. Need to press left to go from the bow to the mirror, but sometimes when you're going fast, you might get a diagonal input or whatever, right? And you get the wrong thing. In that case, it looked like maybe an accidental up, because you're just mashing as fast as you can. Yes, so in this run, they're going to get the Tempered Sword, and they will not get the Silver Arrows. Getting the Tempered Sword saves about 40 seconds over the Master Sword. Literally all of which is in the boss fights. Like, that's the only place it saves any time.
Yeah, and theoretically, we would drop to Ganon ahead if we did not collect the Tempered Sword and did all the fights well and everything.
Yes. Actually, Tempered Sword might not even save 40 seconds, but on average, it will save most people 40 seconds to a minute at least. And then, yes, getting silvers would cost the runners about 60 to 80 seconds. So it's a minute to a minute and a half slower. Okay, shkoople did get the quick fish.
We love to see it.
And an acceptable moth fight on Kaz's side. You're out of that fight, nothing too bad happened. You're okay with it. Just a pixel, maybe 2 pixels too far to the right.
It's so easy to splash on Zora's screen.
You can't really see where Link is actually allowed to stand. None of it makes any sense. You just kind of like, or whatever. Hopefully,
the barriers.
Oh, go ahead.
The barriers between shallow and deep water are moving, so it's hard to have a cue there. Plus, the Link's movement on these barriers is naturally clips So it kind of doesn't make sense casually either.
Yeah, and there, Shkoople was almost dashing entirely in the deep water. You can be dashing entirely in the deep water. Like I said, it almost doesn't make any sense where you can and can't dash. Please don't get hit. Okay, good. Good. That crab does 2 hearts, and we really don't want to lose any health.
All right, Shkoople now entering Ice Palace. And I believe I've heard you say that Ice Palace is one of the most consistent dungeons. Would you agree with that?
Yes, the dungeon itself is very, very consistent. There is some issues we can have in this bombable floor room coming up in about 3 screens for Shkoople. And sometimes the conveyor room can be a little bit messy, but this is one of the few splits where basically everything you do is on you. There's not RNG to react to or anything like that.
Yes.
So, yes, I do find it very consistent. That doesn't mean it's easy. These are some very hard rooms, but consistent.
And it's so hard to react and make the right decisions with the bombable floor room. Because the Baris just happen to be the worst enemy in the game.
And you do lose some time depending on the conveyor, which is like not up to you. Oh, okay.
So one fall for
that is not going to
Shkoople.
work. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Backup didn't work there. We are lining up, re-entering. Looks like we're good.
Okay. Oh, I can't tell sometimes on that particular pixel.
Yeah. Shkoople, yeah, corrected second entry. So when learning Ice Palace, it's all about the bomb jump. It's all about Ice Palace bomb jump and surviving cold stare. But even these rooms can be very, very consistent, depending on your skill level and comfort.
Actually did dash completely in the deep water.
Yeah, that was great. Arc blue all around.
Yeah, and now we have Cold Stare, which we're gonna basically delete before Cold Stare can do anything. We hope. 8 fire rod shots here, and then we're gonna spin, and then either 1 or 2 pokes. Looks like 1 double spin, and then 1 slash to finish this fight off. Yep, easy.
Yeah, the cold stare puff started to spread out slightly, but the swing of the slash was broad enough to get him off. Yeah,
the slash is surprisingly large, the area that it covers. So as long as they're not like totally separated, you're in pretty good shape.
Nice bombable floor for caznode, recognizing that he could place the bomb pretty early. As early as possible, basically.
Not opting for the damage boost there, which means he'll probably have full health for Pengators, which can be a tiny bit tricky. But yeah, that looks good. Excellently done there. I always slash left in this room, and you can't do that with beams, so... Okay. Perfect room.
Very nice. Okay, so we are on Death Mountain.
Mean boulder. Oh my goodness. Kaz got the slow clip, which is still pretty fast, so whatever.
Yeah, it's fun to see. And it looks like Shkoople went for a caznode quick warp. Bufferless. I'm not totally sure if that's what he goes for, but shout outs to Node for having a setup for a quick whip that's on the newer side.
No, he didn't quite go for the setup, but all right, caznode also gonna get poke, double spin, and 1/. Nice fight. I can't do math, but it looks like that's almost an 8-minute split, so we're gonna get some shopping here for caznode and swamp as well. Probably just ether. This is gonna make me do turtle rock math. Oh, yeah, just that. Oh my goodness.
Stalls on that screen are so janky. They just are so strange, especially at the bottom of the screen, because Link's bonk is just kind of traps Link, which is kind of interesting because he doesn't recoil backwards.
So one of the convenient things for us is it appears we're gonna get ether in the same split and ice rod in the same split. Runners have a lot of choice in where they get that, which makes it harder to keep track of where they're at.
Urgent.
Don't prove me wrong, Kaz. Prove I can do math. Okay. We are getting ether.
Oh
wow,
no!
I thought it was going to block him, so I think he was correct to have stopped there, and then it didn't, and then he got hit because it stopped. Dead rocks are the worst.
Yeah, I don't know how to make that decision, so I just would have tanked it anyway, but yeah, that's what happens.
We see caznode getting the caznode quick warp. Nicely done.
And is this the right pixel? Yeah, very good. Both quick warps there. Quick warps, by the way, save 34 frames, if I'm not mistaken. Each
whatever time you use to set them up, but yeah,
yes.
It's about half a second. And Swamp, I mentioned that I think that Thieves is kind of your last spot of the game where you kind of just like not pay attention. Swamp feels that way until you start like comparing your gold to somebody that's a minute faster than you, and then you're like, why do they save 15 seconds on me? That doesn't seem right. Very, very challenging dungeon to do fast.
Yeah, it's really tough dealing with the movement on the screen. Caznode's left dash followed by a down dash, so really surprised me. I haven't seen that before.
Somebody pull up StratHub, check if that's fast. I don't know how fast that is. The normal dash down the middle strat is like a fair bit slower than what is optimal strat in the room, but it's definitely really easy. I don't know if that strat that Kaz does is faster or not.
Oh, one thing I forgot about was that shkoople left Thieves Town with a lot of bombs. So it was quite nice that we had those as backup after the IPVJ mess up.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I guess technically Caznode needs to pick up one bomb somewhere before the end of the game, but both of them have enough bombs here. They have the exact same arrow count. They both will need, or they're both hoping to leave here, I presume, with at least 21 arrows. There are 10 arrows for us to get, so they definitely can. Kaz ninja past the fire snake, and then the red skeleton was in the way.
Enemies
no!
Okay. Shkoople went into a different room that we don't normally see.
DLC.
And we have the Red Bari to thank. Thank you, Red Bari.
Swamp. Well, when you're like, why am I losing 15 seconds? And then you do that, you're like,
Yeah.
well, I know why I'm losing 5 of them. That red berry was quite high on the screen. That's pretty uncommon for it to be that high, so... Shkoople has a chance at the Zero Cycle. I don't know if it's something he normally goes for or not. Zero Cycle is one of the hardest tricks. Looks like we are going to go for it. This looks good. Yep, that's good.
Really nice.
Opting not to use the Fire Rod. And I want to let it be known that if you do not Fire Rod Argus, you should kill Argus at the top of the screen. It saves, I don't remember how much, but it's more than you think. It's not like it's 2 frames. Top screen, it's much easier to get a good crystal catch from the top of the screen. I don't know how you get a good crystal catch from the bottom, but Shkoople didn't get it. And we're losing huge single-digit frames because of this suboptimal crystal catch.
Caznode does not go into the DLC room. Really nice diagonal out of the stairwell from Caznode.
Yeah, I used to do that.
I don't know how he did it.
It's really hard. I just stole Doom Tap strat of tapping A.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, another menu mishap. And an Argus from Caznode that looks good, but Argus hasn't.
No, that's good. That's good. Yeah,
That was a Zero Cycle? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
It was just a really long... Basically, Argus's third walk was basically didn't move at all. And then it just looked like you got gypped, but no, Argus was actually moving. Icebreaker is
Great
not
to
allowed
see on both sides.
Category.
What did you say?
Oh, I was just nothing. Nothing important.
And Shkoople's now into Mire. We did not get Ice Rod. That will be saved for later.
Yeah, big reason Shkoople handled the second room of Mire very well. It's a lot easier to manage with beams. So, just main reason to get Ether in Swamp and Ice Rod in Turtle Rock is for that screen. Make it a lot easier and more considerate.
Yeah, even this screen is nice with beams dealing with the blue Bari.
It does help, yeah. Ooh, Shkoople slashing, which is definitely slower because that red berry splits into 2, and then you have to worry about the 2 small guys. Because you're going to get a full magic refill, always just Fire Rod that guy. It's in your way.
Yeah, Caznode lost a bit of time missing the bird. I'm not sure why the duck passed Link by.
Was Kaz dashing left?
Walking.
Walking? Oh.
Walking
nice.
left. The walking left miss.
The bird sucks.
Yeah.
Kaz will also have beams for this screen right here, and we're gonna hope to see it done well. Kaz is going for the fast strat, and he gets it. Okay, huge.
Fastmire 2 with a menu to judge Link's movement, I guess.
That strat is, I think, optimally not any faster, but or if it is, it's only a handful of frames faster. But it is. There's
it controls the RNG.
Yes, it does. So it's a very good strategy. Kaz went for a low dash there. I was a little bit concerned, but he did not get hit by the fireball. Shkoople is setting up for spooky action glitch. Place the block in a particular way by kicking up dash dust before, and then we're gonna fire rod this spike. Okay, didn't quite. Oh, okay. Just bailing. I didn't see what exactly went wrong with that setup.
I think.
Or wait, did it?
It was more of a.
Oh wait, did it work? And I just didn't see the screen stop.
Okay, I'm not sure exactly.
Because then why did the second one not work?
Yeah, it did stop. It did. The first Spooky 1 was fine. Spooky 2, I'm not sure why it didn't work. But yeah.
That was strange. Luckily, we do have extra bombs. When Spooky fails, you do have to have a spare bomb for more menu mishaps here to get into that room. And then this fight, nicely done.
Yeah, victorious. Zero cycle for Shkoople. Extra arrow, unfortunate. We're at 12 now.
12 does mean we will need to pick up another arrow pack somewhere. There are a few choices, or we could just hope we get lucky from drops. We have to get real lucky. But that one extra arrow is just going to cost a little bit of extra time, so kind of unfortunate.
Shkoople agrees with Yoho that Spooky 2 was shot a little too low, so Link didn't move high enough on the screen before shooting.
Okay. Kaz's first one worked there. And there you go. That's what it's supposed to look like. And then you get the third one as well. So Kaz able to save honestly a fair bit of time just from those screens.
Yeah. 10 plus seconds. Plus the reset-up time.
And also looks like he's having a nice fight. He's at 8 arrows, which means he does not need any extra arrows that Shkoople does. So they're both still on the same arrow count, basically.
Yeah. Shkoople returns to Death Mountain, lashes down at a dead rock to get it out of the way. Good call, and nothing else bothers him on the first screen, so that's a relief.
Dead rocks like to get in your way. So all there is to it. So anytime they don't, you're feeling good.
Yeah. I feel good when I don't lose 12 seconds. It's awesome.
Yep, just only losing like 3. 2 3 seconds because they just get in your way instead of totally blocking your way. Was a tiny bit nervous for Kaz there with that bomb, but gets through, no problem.
A nice bird dash for caznode, saving 10 frames or something. Unfortunately, does get the full dead rock block on the first screen of DM.
Yeah, and that's, yeah, like you said, 12-ish seconds, sometimes a little bit less. Yeah, usually 11, 12 seconds. And then Turtle Rock here is an incredibly dangerous dungeon.
It's hard too.
Everything hits you for 3 or 4, and we also intentionally take some damage. This
we
is
take
actually
damage, and we hope for a health recovery as well.
Yes. We do have the fairy set up from earlier in the run. Did not get it, so let's hope Chomps play a little bit nice.
Okay,
but
good.
This is
Safe
another
play.
split where Sank Heart helps a lot because you have 13 with Sank and 12 without. So a lot of times you get an extra hit if you have Sank Heart here, which helps a lot.
Yeah, 3 bites from chain jumps equals 12 hearts. That could leave you with 1. Well, that doesn't make sense because we're already
Kaz gets
intentionally
the
taking.
arrow drop from the enemy.
Oh, nice.
Oh, this is bad for shkoople. Okay.
Okay. So
well,
shkoople had to fight Pokey. Yeah, it took some time to get it after being a bunny for a second.
Ooh, Kaz didn't trust that dash. Okay.
Yeah.
Kaz knows how to get out of that room. A lot of times it's just way safer. Usually mirroring out of that room is pretty slow, but once it's kind of gotten messed up, mirroring's not that much slower and it's a lot safer. So good on Kaz for knowing how to get out of there without taking extra hits.
Yeah. Okay, we got right side chomps. Well done.
And we really do want to maintain beams. It makes a lot of these rooms a lot easier.
Yeah.
Or at least a few of them.
Yeah, Crystal Roller Room was faster for shkoople.
And
Beams.
easier.
It's much easier, at least.
Kaz had the same RNG.
Oh no.
Intentionally takes the damage so that he can just go.
Yeah, just go here. Makes sense.
Oh, that might have worked for shkoople, but it was that pixel where you can't tell. Oop, Kaz did not hit the switch. Oh, and we're bonking.
Okay.
Okay. Hitting that switch is pretty important.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If caznode did not hit that switch, he would approach Crystal Roller Room with a very strange.
Monkeys.
Let's go. All right, try next for shkoople.
That was a shot and a half to hit that ice head. Kaz gets through without taking damage in that room. That is hard to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, caznode knew he could, deal with it without beams. He'll be fast. So, not a problem.
That's the Trinex fight you want to see on shkoople's side. So we're on to GT. Nobody's ever lost any time in GT. I've heard that from a valid source.
Is that right?
Especially not me. I've only ever golded it every time I've done it.
Yeah. Yeah. Strange but true.
Oh, Kaz needed to dash up on the right side there to avoid getting hit by that anti-fairy. Nope, didn't fall. Okay, good.
Yeah, platforms are so strange because it takes them a handful of frames to appear. So, movement can be a little awkward.
Okay, and now Kaz just needs a double spin and a slash to finish this fight. Gets it nice and easy. Yep, excellent fight from him too. shkoople going for the huge hook climb to save like 10 frames, and in the process loses 30.
At least we got to walk quickly up the stairs.
It does feel good. It does feel good.
You know what it means? It means it's less time that you have to spend double pumping upstairs.
No.
Okay.
Technically a little bit, but you should still double pump when you have hook speed. Yeah, so...
Yeah, I get that. I was just thinking of the total elapsed time of being on the stairs.
Ooh, takes a hit there. The beams don't really matter, but they're nice. So but yeah, we're getting ready to fight Ice Armos here. Ice Armos is...
It's a scripted fight.
Yeah. But it's the fight I think about the most. Basically...
Do you think about it while you're playing?
Yes, absolutely. It goes right all the times, except when it doesn't. And then you're happy with it. But if it ever goes wrong, then you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Not because of that fight. That fight is whatever. You're gonna beat it. Who cares? But the Ganon fight gets weird. Here it's gonna be totally fine. So there's nothing to worry about.
Yeah,
and,
so it goes on to Upper GT.
I think that these two Mimics rooms are the hardest rooms in the game.
Yes. And it's so surprising to hear that as a learning runner, because they just follow your inputs. What's so... Don't you have control over your own inputs? But they are extremely difficult.
shkoople chose not to do not the fastest strats, but certainly strats that are very consistent. Which, because those... Oh, just hit there. Sometimes you just want to get through rooms, right? So you're like, I'm going to intentionally lose 20, 30 frames, whatever, but I don't have to think about it. Oh. Shkoople didn't trust that
G2.
dash. I'm not sure I trusted that either.
Yeah, I thought we would get both of them, but we didn't. Fire Ride upward, G3. Nice.
This is looking to be a pretty solid gauntlet here.
Very nice.
Hard to complain. Lost a little bit of time maybe in Gauntlet 3, but through, no big issues.
Short hop from the first Landmo. Cleans it up.
Yeah, we can see Kaz opted for a bit of a harder strat there. He did mess it up a little bit, which means he lost some time. But probably saved a lot of that back in the Mimics too. Ooh, that spike room is tricky. Everything you do is really precise, and you just barely get through it without getting hit, so... You mess up even a little bit, and you start taking a couple hits like Kaz did.
Yeah, and I find when I don't think about it, I lose time, and then I don't know why I lost time. I get hit.
Ooh, that ran into the spike. Just a tiny bit of time loss. I'm not sure if that bonk, how much time it loses, but it definitely loses time. Okay. Oh, come on. Come on. That is as mean as land balls can get.
Yeah, Caznode got the same diagonal downright quick hop on that first worm. Okay.
Shkoople started that dash off 5 times.
Doing a little dance for us, but it's controlled. Helmets are not a problem. And we're on to essentially the hardest boss, Aghanim 2.
This is a... Oh, I'm not sure if that was 2. That was a really good pattern to get through on. Definitely only one there. Oh, he only got
just
one
hurt
on the
when...
first one. That sucks. But just one last hit there, so... Kaz intentionally taking damage in that room. It is actually faster to do so. And as you can see, Kaz has not lost very much health, so it's pretty safe to do.
Alright, Shkoople dropping to Ganon.
We want to get 12 hits in before Ganon's Trident comes up, which we did, and then we want another 12 hits before Ganon warps away. Okay.
Wow. One interesting thing that Shkoople demonstrated is that we can dash back and forth and hit Ganon. And if we don't get the dash, we're somehow not taking damage. But good thing we didn't touch Ganon, because that would have knocked us out completely.
Kaz had a really unfortunate first cycle where he could not have gotten 3 if he wanted to. Oh, this boss sucks.
Yeah, it's just so hard to make good decisions and like know what we can do to fulfill each cycle. Pass the test, basically.
So here Shkoople needs just 12 spins to finish the run. We're going to see Lamp Torch glitch. I respect that a lot.
Sure.
And yeah, down to just 10 spins to finish this run. And that is a good fight from shkoople. Hard to ask for much better. And yeah, GG's in chat. That was a very nice run.
GG shkoople.
Kaz looks to be not too far behind here, even with some of the unfortunate stuff that happened to him. If Cannon could stop warping, all right, he did it. Gonna bait the fire bat, fight the torch. Nicely done. Now, I think Kaz only needs 9 more, so maybe, nope. He knows timing better than I do. Some of these spins are tough to get. You have to move across the whole arena, and you just barely get there in time. Alright, and GG's to Kaz as well.
We get a nice dash upwards. GG. So there we go. On caznode splits, we have a 128.30, and on shkooples, we have a 126.51. Maybe they were delayed slightly, but we'll see. Caznode will pass on an interview. So this race, at the beginning, it was really defined by a rough light world from caznode with trouble at Lambo and Moldorm. Worse blue ball luck as well at Aghanim.
Even with that blue ball luck, though, I think I mentioned a lot of like time save that we expect to see from 124 runners versus 125 runners. Kaz actually made up a lot of time in the Dark World. It just didn't feel like it because he was just coming back from so much, right? But yeah, Dark World there was, I mean, very well done by both of them. But
yeah. Some discussion. Maybe we'll get an interview. Yeah, so a pretty consistent, well done run for shkoople with some time losses beginning in Swamp. And like you said, those rooms kind of, they pile up, and it's hard to see how how it goes. But it's pretty fun to see the unseen room in this category. But yeah, that's how it goes. We are joined by Shkoople. GG Shkoople. Congrats on the win.
Hey, GG. The caznode, thank you.
And Kaznode's here as well. GG's.
Good game. What's up, gamers?
Hello, GG.
So Kaznode, you were looking a bit shaken in the light world a little bit. How are you feeling at the start of this run? Kaznode, are you with us?
Oh,
I heard
you.
you.
Oh, we can now.
All right. Don't know what was happening. I think I was more shaken during the dark world, later in the dark world, than I was during the light world, because it was just, in the dark world, it was going from, like, bad to worse, but in the light world, it was just, okay, I made a couple of bad mistakes, that happens.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you did have some really nice stuff. That pod, for instance, was really good. I don't know. So
Yeah, like Dow was able to see the hammer jump. I totally missed it. It was too fast.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you just try to keep playing as best as you can, and I wasn't looking at the stream or anything, so, I mean, I just, you know, just tried to keep playing like I would any other run, you know, just you know, if nothing else, pretend that it'll, that maybe all the little good stuff will add up to a win.
Mm-hmm. And Shkoople, you had a pretty good run overall. I mean, was there anything you were worried about? I know that the last, you know, couple splits were tough, but...
Yeah, I mean, Agate Tower, I lost my mind, but the rest of the run was good until ice, and then I just lost my mind everywhere. I think, like, watching the restream was a little distracting, and I started doing, like, a bunch of save strats that I don't, like, well, not save strats, but, like, I was mindful of the lead, and I think that made me play a little bit weird, so I might not be watching next time. Like, I just, going into the DLC room...
That was pretty funny.
I was just laughing so much at that. Like, I don't know how anyone does that.
Good. That's good to hear.
And then the backup rupees in Agate Tower was like, I just don't know how to deal with that guard.
Which one? Oh,
the bush guard.
The bush guard.
Mushroom.
You have two options. The first is you immediately recognize it and slash it, or you walk up a little bit further and go, or you ignore it completely and hope that he doesn't hit you. So
flailing your sword around and not doing anything effectively is not the answer.
Probably not, no.
All right. But I don't know. Like, I was pretty happy with most of my run until, like you said, the end game. Like, it was really good pace, even with all the disasters after ice, and then just, you know, Spooky kind of ruined everything. And GT and Ganon were awful too. Not awful, but you can't miss the 1-in-1, right?
I mean, you knew you had the lead, and you already said you were kind of mindful of stuff, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Were you thinking about anything like that during the Ganon fight? Because...
Yeah, I mean, Ganon Ganon's Tower, I was like grabbing extra hearts and stuff when I had a messy Golem, took some hits. So, yeah, I was just mindful of the lead and grabbing as much as I could to just, I don't know, chill and finish it out because I knew the PB was dead after Meyer.
Yeah, well.
How was your RNG, Shkoople? How many blue balls did you get?
It was 1 versus 6, I think. I had a lot of warps on Ganon. I think you did too.
Yeah, I had like 8 warps, but I had 7 blue balls.
Oh, it was 7.
Yeah. Honestly, the 7 blue balls like hurt me mentally much more than the Moldorm death because it was like, oh, it's going to be one of these runs, isn't it?
Yeah, you make a mistake and then you get piled on. It's awful.
But yeah, I mean, it was not as fun as we would have liked to have watched, but I mean, I think you called back pretty good, Kaz, given what the game gave you. And that Moldorm death, that boss is like, I can't believe you died on that dash. It looked totally fine.
Yeah, I thought that he was maybe a little far up, but it didn't seem like an unsafe dash to go for.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, okay, if he's hanging out in that area, then I dash here, and maybe I hit him, maybe not, but I probably don't die. But then I died.
Yeah, well, I guess that's one of the nice advantages of the league setup is y'all still get to play no matter what happens, right? So,
I really like the Swiss format because you just get to play your games and whatever happens, happens. You don't have to worry about getting knocked out.
Hey, yeah, at least with having lost this one, I probably won't have to face Aerie at some point.
Well, that's true. I might be in danger.
Okay. I think with that, unless y'all have any last things to say, I think we're probably good to wrap up here.
Well, thanks for the league. Thanks for commentating. I'll be sure to watch it back. And yeah, thanks for the host.
Ditto. Thanks for everything.
Yeah, great race to watch. Thanks, guys. And we'll throw it back over to ZSR.
Yeah. So yeah, big thanks for the race tonight. GG's to both runners for an amazing race tonight. And thanks a lot to our commentators, Chex Human and Dao TMV. So we have quite a lot of LTTPR and MG League races on this week. We have Buan versus Foxlisk later tonight, while we'll have Splippy versus Trinex tomorrow, and then T versus Parisian Player on Friday night. So yeah, quite a lot of races to come. So just after this on the SR2, we will have a cross keys race between Amazing Ampharos and Homebreaker. So stay on this channel if you want to see it. And yeah, thanks everyone, and see you later. Bye!